we are going to use the CRUD methods get, post, put, and delete in an ASP.NET Core Web API with .NET 8. We'll set up a Web API controller, add the methods, and execute them using Swagger. As well as that, we'll show you how to execute these endpoints using Postman. The first step is to create a Web API controller in our ASP.NET Core Web API. So we've got our ASP.NET Core Web API project open in Visual Studio. In order to create a Web API controller, we right-click on Controllers, go to Add a New Controller. We'll select API and API controller-empty, and we're going to call the Web API controller Product Controller. So that's created the Product Controller, which is inheriting the controller base class. It's set up a root attribute, which has API/controller. And controller is an attribute and it will bind it to the controller name, which is product in this instance. This root is used at the class level, which means it's used as a prefix for any relative links for any of the Web API endpoints. It's also got this API controller attribute as well. Now, there's some slight different behavior compared to an MVC controller, and that's the reason why that attribute is there. With our Web API created, we can now add our endpoints, and we're going to start with the get method, which is designed for adding read requests. To set up our get method endpoint, we're going to create a new method. We're going to give it a return type of iActionResult. We're going to call the method read, and we're going to pass in a parameter of ID. Now, in order to make this a HTTP GET method, we need to apply that attribute to the method name. So we're going to pass in a template for it. I'm going to pass in ID. This acts as a parameter and it corresponds with the ID that gets passed through here. So the root for that endpoint is going to be API/controller, which is product, so it's going to be API/product, and then the HTTP GET part is going to apply the ID to it. So the final API endpoint is going to be API/product/ whatever ID we're passing in. And we're just going to return the result. We're going to return an OK result. We're going to pass in some data as part of the response. So we're going to add the ID, and we're also going to add a name of Dave. So we can now execute the endpoint. We're going to try it out. We're going to put in an ID of 7. And as part of the response, it's got the ID of 7 and it's got the name of Dave. We're now focused on the post method, which concentrates on creating data. The post method is created in a similar way to the get method. So we create a new endpoint type of iActionResult, and we're going to call it create. We're going to pass in an instance as the weather forecast class as the parameter. So that will get passed through as part of the Web API request. We're going to return it as a created, so it's a 201 response. Normally we would have to create a URI, but we're just going to leave that empty for now. And as part of the value, we're just going to return what we've passed in as part of the request. To make this work, we need to add the HTTP post. We're not going to add a template this time, so that means that when a post request of API/product gets called, it's going to call this endpoint here. Let's run the endpoint. Let's execute the endpoint. So let's put the date in a year, month, day format. So we'll put in the 2nd of March 2024. We'll put in the temperature of 20 degrees Celsius and a summary of it's sunny. When we execute that, we get a 201 response, and we also get the response of the weather forecast class. The put method allows us to update a record. Let's see how we can use it. We're going to create a new method for our put method. I'm going to give it a return type of iActionResult, call it update. We're going to pass in 2 parameters this time. We're going to pass in an ID and an instance of our weather forecast. We're going to return a 204 no content response. And to make this work, we need to use the HTTP put method. We're going to pass in a template with the parameter of ID, which corresponds to the ID parameter that we're passing in here. So the endpoint is going to be API/product/ whichever ID we're passing in. Let's run the endpoint. So to try it out, we're going to give it an ID. I'm going to put the date in the proper format. So it's going to be the 2nd of March 2024. Temperature is 20 and the summary, it's sunny. We're getting a 204 response. Finally, the delete method will delete a record. Let's see how to add it. We'll create a new method, iActionResult as the return type. Call it delete, just pass in 1 parameter, this time of ID. We're going to return a 204 no content response. And to make it work, we need to call the HTTP delete attribute, passing in the ID as the parameter. So with this, we're going to pass in the delete method, API/product, and whatever ID we're passing in is going to be passed in as part of the parameter. And when we run it, we get a 204 response. We executed these endpoints in Swagger, but how do we do it in Postman? Let's take a look. What is Postman? Postman is an API platform for building and using APIs. You can create a new tab, select the appropriate method, and add the URL of the API endpoint you wish to execute. It also allows you to add authorization, headers, and a body. And it supports traditional HTTP post requests like form-data and x-www-form-URL encoded types, as well as JSON requests. It also has many more features that you can use to support your web API. First of all, we need to make sure that our web API is running, and we need to take a note of the origin, which is localhost:7080 in our instance. To download Postman, do a search in it for Postman, select the Postman API platform, and you can either download it in Windows, Mac, or Linux. We're going to add a new tab in Postman. We're going to select the get method. I'm going to give it the host of localhost:7080/API/product/whatever ID we wish to add. I'm going to add 13 and we're going to execute that. And the response has got the ID and the name. We're now going to add our post method. So we select post from the drop down, https://7080 API/product. We don't need the ID. Now we need to add some body text this time. So we select body, we go to raw, and we make sure that JSON is selected. We then need to add our JSON. So we need to add in a date. So we can put in the 2nd of March 2024. We need to put in a temperature in Celsius. We're going to set that to 20. And then we need to add a summary. It's sunny. And that's now returned our response. We'll do the same for the put method. We'll select put. We'll select our URL. We go to body once again. We need to select raw and we need to put in our weather forecast data. So we'll put in the 2nd of March 2024. Temperature in Celsius is going to be 20. And the summary, it's sunny. Execute, nothing gets returned, but we get a 204 no content response. And finally, we'll do the same for the delete. We'll select delete from the drop down. We'll get our endpoint. We don't need to add a body this time, so we should just be able to execute that. So no response, but we're getting a 204 no content response. So that's how you create the CRUD methods in an ASP.NET Core Web API. And if you want to know more, watch this video next where you'll learn more about ASP.NET Core Web API and what features it can offer.